My wife says I can't judge her for what she did because I'm not perfect and lied to her too. Does divorce make sense? My 38 male wife, 58 female, says I can't be mad at her for what she did because she feels I was dishonest and lied to her too. I'm not perfect, but what she did, I feel, is much worse, and I don't think I can get past it and think we need a divorce. First, yes, those ages are correct. There are 20 years between us. That's not a typo. We have been married 16 years. A couple years ago, my father was in hospice, fighting stage 4 cancer, and doctors gave him weeks to live. I was dealing with stress at my job and getting in fights with my wife at home, stressing about my daughter starting college and just having a rough time holding it together. I left work one day after being a little loud and rude with a coworker and went to CVS, local pharmacy, and went looking for some supplements or something I could take as a Band-Aid to take the edge off and calm me down until I could get an appointment with my doctor to get something better. As I'm looking for something, a woman in the same aisle is looking like she's having a rough day too. And part of my mind thought, what better way to get out of my own head than talk to someone else about their day? So, we started a conversation. She told me about the fight she was coincidentally in with her husband, and was having a rough time, too. So we chatted a bit in the store and carried the conversation outside as we checked out. Talking a bit by her car, I was feeling like I just needed a friend that I could talk to. I had no interest in an affair or anything, just a real person that I could have a conversation with. I don't know how I decided to ask this woman for her number, but I did. Part of me thinks it's because my wife frequently jokes that I have no game and couldn't flirt if I tried. Anyway, I asked, and surprisingly, she gave it to me. She even told me she works the afternoon shift and typically gets off later into the evening, like 10 p.m. Anyway, a few weeks go by, I'm traveling for work and get into a fight with my wife over the phone about something, and thought I might call this woman even just to vent. I had no thought they would actually answer or remember me. I still had their number, and it was about 10:30 or so. I don't know why I thought it was a good idea, but I did. Either way, we talked on the phone for a bit about fights with our spouses, family drama, work stuff, whatever. I don't remember the conversation being very long, but somehow it was over an hour. The next morning, I felt guilty. I had just had a late-night conversation with another woman, and my wife didn't know. I deleted the number from my dial history, threw out the card her number was on, and decided that was it. I couldn't call again if I didn't have the number, right? I put it out of my mind. A few weeks later, my wife and I are fighting again. About what? I don't know. But at some point, she says she felt I was always on my phone and felt I was keeping something from her. I reminded her she knew the code to my phone. We know the codes to each other's phones and have for years. I told her I had nothing to hide. She got up to use the bathroom, and I went to get my phone for her to have unlocked and ready for her to go through, in hopes to calm the argument that I had nothing to hide. This escalated the argument as she accused me of getting up the moment she was out of the room so I could delete anything I didn't want her to find, as she put it. This argument continued for a bit, and eventually we went to bed. The next morning I get a call from her that simply starts, "Who is—" insert woman's name here. And since I work with a lot of people, we have over 3,000 people at my office, and I talk with dozens every week using my cell phone, I didn't recognize the name, so I tried blowing it off and said something like, "I think they are in IT, I don't know. The name sounds familiar, but I can't place it." Why? Well, that blew things up, because she had already pulled up the phone statements which had this late-night call I mentioned earlier. She had already reverse-searched the number, had the woman's name, Facebook, LinkedIn, and socials, and was calling me to see what my answer was. The moment my answer didn't match, I'm suddenly a liar, and she's accusing me of cheating too. Anyway, this argument rolls for a while and causes some problems. I keep trying to punt it down the road, telling her it must be someone I work with, because I don't talk to many people outside of work that she doesn't know. I actually don't have any friends outside of work that aren't family because of other issues. Eventually, a couple of weeks later, I broke down in an argument with her again and told her that I felt I needed someone to talk to. And while my father was dying, work sucked, and I didn't feel I could talk to her, I talked to this person one time. I tried to explain that the moment I was wrong about who she was asking about it should have admitted it, but didn't. So, now, that's how she says that I'm a liar. Recently, we got into a fight about my email account that I changed a password to. Due to a security alert I got about the password being found on the dark web. She calls demanding access to my email again, months after the change, and accusing me of hiding something. For whatever reason, she needed access right away and threatened to call me every hour at work until I sent her the password. For some reason, it got me suspicious, and didn't know why she needed access to my account so urgently. So, I started looking, and it was hard because she has used my email to sign up for every website, newsletter, blog, and recipe site possible. So there are hundreds of emails a day. Out of curiosity, I checked the deleted messages, and the folder is empty. Like it was emptied intentionally, which makes me more suspicious. I checked drafts and see a handful of emails that had been started, most of which have nothing in them. But I checked my sent folder and went back years as I started finding emails she had been sending that I didn't know about. The more recent ones she signed with both our names, mostly just telling people that we appreciate the invite to something but couldn't make it to this, that, or the other thing. But it bugged me that half these messages I didn't know were sent, and I didn't even know about these events she declined our invites to. I keep going back years and find emails that were sent with only my name on the bottom and a little signature that says, "Sent on my iPhone," and I didn't have an iPhone then. So I knew it was her. These emails were long-running arguments with my family, my uncle, my mother, my grandmother, all sounding like I was defending my wife and standing up for her after they were trying to tell me about something she did that they didn't agree with. Around that time, she had started refusing to go to any event my uncle or grandmother hosted and told me none of her kids would go either. So none of us went, and I brushed it off like we're busy with our own thing and took other excuses as valid. The drive was long, or we were busy, or schedules didn't work. But now, viewing the emails, I know better. She caused a chasm in my family almost 10 years ago, lied about it to me, impersonated me, and made things awkward all the way up to today. Now she says I'm just as much a liar, so I don't have any ground to stand on. If we were both out cheating on each other and caught each other, then maybe. But I am torn because we have built a decent house and an okay life together. Our kids are adults, we can afford our expenses, and things are okay. But I keep recognizing patterns in what she does that really make me want to pursue a divorce. I don't feel we can get past this and really think we need to call it quits. I'm already getting a number for a lawyer, but don't know if this level of reaction makes sense.